Hello, everyone. This is Society in Focus, a weekly enlightenment program live on Unity Star TV Africa from the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja. Today, we are going to talk about leadership in Africa, and our guest on the program today is a Pan-Africanist from South Africa, Lizeka Nojilana. She's going to talk to us about leadership in Africa. And before then, permit me to inform you that the idea of leadership in Africa has become a general and a talk of the day issue, and it is everyone's business. It is time for African leaders to wake up to their responsibility as Africans are waking up to the call of Africanism. Lezika, let's have you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Lizeka Nojilana. I am from South Africa, the founder of and the CEO of the Women and Youth Empowerment Foundation Africa. I am currently live in Unity Star TV Africa, and we are discussing the topic, a very important topic of the leadership in Africa. The leadership that we have, the leadership that we want to have as Africans to lead us forward. The importance of leadership. When you have a good leadership, you are able to drive your vision. When you don't have a good leadership, that's where everything fails. So if we take that to Africa, where are we now? Currently, Africa is rising and is rising to the right direction. We need to take the ownership of Africa. We need to own our resources. We need to break away all the colonial powers that were like a stumbling block in our way as Africans to develop. Africa is very rich, but we are poor. How do we do? What are we going to do? What are the strategies that are in place for us to eradicate poverty in Africa? The leadership, the importance of the leadership, it plays like a vital role. Take, for instance, the Burkina Faso, the President Ibrahim Traore. He is working very hard in making sure that Africa is uniting. The unity is one step that we can take as Africans. Take the president of Namibia and the other presidents. They are doing everything in their power to make sure that Africa is united and our resources, they remain our resources. How are we going to do that? By chasing away the colonial mindset. We have to change our mindset and making sure that the Africa that we want is the Africa that we build. We have to implement the Agenda 2063 of the African Union. How are we going to implement that? It all begins with unity. And it all begins with developing Africa. We need to have strategies in place in making sure that the economy of Africa is growing through our resources. We need to make sure that with our resources, we are able to trade with other countries within the continent. And even we are able to travel. And traveling to Africa, we don't have to need visa. Why, if we ask ourselves, why people with the EU passport, they can travel to Africa without a visa? But me, with a South African passport, I cannot travel to other countries in Africa because I must have a visa. So if we can have a visa-free Africa to Africa, that can also help to develop the economy, because the importance of development is through the economy. You cannot do anything if you can't be able to have a strategy of developing the economy. And also the currency. Africa needs to go to a stage whereby we have our own currency. We have our own president. We have our own visa-free, not in a way that a person can just visit a country without knowing about who is who. Each and every country must have a strategy of you are Lizeka Nojilana from South Africa, you are visiting this country, so you must be known that you are here. But the issue of visa, like other countries like Ghana, Ghana is saying visa-free for all Africans and all African countries. So we actually need that. And how do we build Africa we want? We build Africa we want by having a good leadership. We need to have leaders that will also decolonize us figuratively and literally in order for the Africa to grow. And we need young people. Young people, they must be political minded and they must be active in dealing with issues, because between young and old, there is one that needs to learn from the other. The young people from the early age of high school, they need to be taught leadership. They need to be taught how to be a leader. By the time they are reaching another stage, they are able to lead. So I will always encourage young people to be political active and minded, and to know what is happening around the world in Africa and the international relations. Also women, we need women to lead. Take for instance, the first president of SADC, Mama from Namibia. Within few days in power, she managed to do a lot of changes that are bringing Africa together. So we need those women with capacity to lead Africa. It was good to have this discussion. It is very much important, and we are still going to have, as I already said, introduce myself. My name is Lizeka Nochilana. I am from South Africa, and thank you, Unity Star TV Africa, for having me. Goodbye.
At USTV Africa, confirm news, culture and entertainment, the latest information, all at USTV Africa. Your number one internet station, USTV Africa. From East Africa to South Africa, USTV Africa. From North Africa to West Africa, USTV Africa. USTV Africa, voice of the new Africa. Uhuru Africa.